How does a man become a legend? How does a general, leading an army of foreign mercenaries and giant war elephants, cross the most formidable mountain range in Europe to bring the world's greatest empire to its knees? This is the story of Hannibal Barca. Born in Carthage in 247 BC, Hannibal's destiny was forged in the fires of a bitter defeat. His father, Hamilcar, a brilliant general himself, made his 9-year-old son swear a sacred oath at an altar to forever be an enemy of Rome. This was no childish promise. It was a vow that would shape the course of history. Hannibal grew up not playing games, but studying the art of war, learning to command a diverse army of Iberians, Gauls, and Libyans. He was being molded into the perfect weapon. At just 26, he took command. Rome, his sworn enemy, controlled the seas. A direct assault was impossible, so Hannibal chose a path no one believed could be taken. In 218 BC, he marched his army, tens of thousands of soldiers, thousands of horses, and 36 war elephants straight towards the Alps. His men faced blizzards, rock slides, and hostile tribes. They lost nearly half their forces, and all but a few of the elephants to the freezing cold and starvation. But they emerged on the other side, into the heart of Italy.
Rome expected an invasion from the sea, from the south. They never looked to the mountains. What followed was a masterclass in military genius. For over a decade, Hannibal remained undefeated on Italian soil. At the Battle of Trebia, he used the freezing river and a hidden ambush to shatter a Roman army. At Lake Trasimene, he orchestrated one of the largest ambushes in history, trapping and destroying an entire consular army. But his masterpiece was at Cannae. Facing a Roman force almost double his size, Hannibal designed a trap of breathtaking audacity. He placed his weakest troops in the center, allowing them to bend backward under the Roman advance. As the Romans pushed forward, confident of victory, Hannibal's elite African infantry and superior cavalry swung in from the sides, completely encircling them. It was a perfect double envelopment. Rome lost as many as 70,000 men in a single day. The battle is still a required case study at military academies like West Point. After Cannae, the road to Rome was open. His own cavalry commander, Hannibal, urged him to march, famously declaring, "You know how to gain a victory, Hannibal. You do not know how to use one." But Hannibal hesitated. Why? Historians still debate it.
He lacks the siege engines to break Rome's walls. His supply lines were stretched thin, and perhaps he underestimated Rome's iron will to resist. He hoped their allies would abandon them, but they largely held firm. It was a fatal miscalculation. The war became one of attrition. Denied proper reinforcements by a jealous and hesitant government back in Carthage, Hannibal's army was slowly worn down. The Romans, under a new general, Scipio, took the fight to Africa, forcing Hannibal to return home to defend his own city. At the Battle of Zama, the tables were turned. Scipio used Hannibal's own tactics against him, and the great Carthaginian general was finally defeated. Forced into exile, Hannibal spent his final years as a hunted man, a strategic advisor to foreign kings, always one step ahead of Roman assassins. Rather than be captured, he took his own life, drinking a vial of poison he had long carried in a ring. A man who had made Rome tremble died alone, far from home. His legacy is one of brilliant, tragic contradiction, a military visionary whose tactical genius remains unparalleled, yet a commander undone by politics, logistics, and one critical moment of indecision. He brought Rome to the very edge of destruction, but never delivered the final blow. And history is left to wonder, what if he had?